Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to WCBN Radio 88.3 FM Ann Arbor. I'm Jeff Chan alongside Alex Kramer, and we are bringing you a live broadcast of Michigan basketball. Tonight's matchup is between the visiting Maryland Terrapins against the University of Michigan Wolverines. We're moments here from tip-off. I'm going to quickly read you the starting lineups. For Maryland, you have number 1, Anthony Cowan. Then you have the sophomore, Kevin Herter. Freshman, number 10, Daryl Morcell. Senior, Jared Nickens. And then number 15, also a senior, Michael Tchaikovsky. For Michigan, the starting lineup is Xavier Simpson at point guard. Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman playing shooting guard. Charles Matthews playing the 3. Then you have Isaiah Livers, the freshman, making a start at the 4. And then at center, you have Mo Wagner. So, Alex, walk me through the players to watch, to look out for tonight on both Maryland and Michigan.
Well, we'll start for the visitors here in Maryland. Maryland has 2 amazing players. First, point guard Anthony Cowan took the reins from last year, one of the best players in the Big Ten, Melo Trimble. He's had a great year this year, averaging about 16 points a game. This team's going to ride or die by Anthony Cowan. Then you got the sharp shooting 6'7" sophomore from Clifton Park, New York, Kevin Herter. He's a great shooter, one of the best shooters in the Big Ten. And if Michigan loses sight of him, he will drain nearly any shot on the court. You also have 2 freshmen from Maryland, both Daryl Morcell and Bruno Fernando, who have played very well this year. But Bruno Fernando is a little bit under the weather with a flu, so it's going to be iffy if he plays. And if he does, it'll be reduced minutes. For Michigan, this is going to be a tale of the bigs. Maryland has injuries, to say the least. Justin Jackson, one of the top 5 players in the Big Ten, is out for the year, along with Ivan Bender, 2 power forwards out for the Maryland Terrapins. If Michigan wants to win this game, Mo Wagner, John Teske, Isaiah Livers are going to have to dominate on the boards and dominate inside, because Maryland's guards are very good, but their forwards right now are not up to par in the Big Ten.
Yeah, you mentioned Anthony Cowan, one of the top players in the Big Ten, averages 16 points a game. Michigan still definitely has the advantage down low with John Teske, Mo Wagner, and Isaiah Livers. Walk me through, though, what do you think are the keys to the game today for Michigan?
For Michigan, it's going to be containing the three-point arc. Maryland is a great three-point shooting team when it's hot, and giving them open shots is a death penalty for them. Michigan's going to have to attack the paint early and often, go at Michael Tchaikovsky. Maryland's had foul trouble all year. Sean Obi and Josh Tomajic are players who haven't gotten a lot of playing time up to this point. Mainly in the past two games is when they've gotten the bulk of their playing time. And this is a very foul-prone team. So if you can get Michael Tchaikovsky in foul trouble, you can get Jared Nickens in foul trouble. And when Bruno gets on the court, get him in foul trouble. Maryland's going to be in trouble, and they're going to be reeling. So my game plan for the Wolverines, I don't think they're going to listen to it very much, but it's going to be to attack the paint with Mo and just let him go to work against Checo.
It's certainly a very sound game plan. Mo Wagner coming off a career-high 27 points. Michigan went into East Lansing on Saturday and beat the 4th-ranked Michigan State Spartans in what it could certainly be one of the more impressive wins in John Beilein's tenure. Walked into Breslin Center, came away with a convincing 82-72 victory, led by Mo Wagner's 27 points, a career high, and certainly a season-defining win. However, Michigan, coming off just 1 day of rest, will need to quickly turn around and rebound against a Maryland team that is certainly dangerous and, as Alex has said, from beyond the arc. So, very interesting game today, and we are very excited to get underway. Tip-off here starting very shortly.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how Michigan responds. You know, they played very well against Purdue last week, almost got that victory, and they went into East Lansing and won by 10 points. So they're certainly riding a high right now. So it's going to be interesting to see if John Beilein's team can come out and use that energy and use that hype that they've had and continue playing that way, or they're going to fall off a cliff a little bit, struggle in the opening minutes. This opening 10 minutes are going to tell us a lot about how this game's going to go. It's either going to be a cliffhanger or Michigan's going to blow this young Maryland team out.
Maryland coming off a 91-69 loss against Ohio State. Maryland, though, has had a few extra days compared to Michigan to prep for this game and rest up. That certainly is going to be an advantage for Maryland, but definitely Michigan has the talent advantage here.
And Maryland needed that break, as Days before that Ohio State game, the entire team was sick with the flu, including all 4 of the coaches on the staff. At halftime, players were throwing up, but now they look a little bit healthier other than Bruno Fernando, so let's see what happens today.
We are now just about to tip off here. Mo Wagner and Michael Tchaikovsky meeting at the center court line, ready for the tip-off.
2 international players, 1 from Slovakia and 1 from Germany. Jared Nickens getting one of his first starts of the year right now. Power forward. He's usually going to play the 3, but the sharpshooting big man's going to have to rebound well today.
Right. Generally, as you mentioned, like Bruno Fernando, Jared Nickens tend to rotate between these guys pretty often. And here we go, ready for the tip-off. And Michigan wins the tip-off, and Xavier Simpson will bring the ball up the court, guarded by Anthony Cowan. As it delivers now back to Wagner at the top of the key. Matthews down low to Livers. Livers matched up on Cowan. Mismatch. Livers goes up and gets the lay-in.
Got the immediate mismatch with Livers on Cowan. Cowan tipped the ball away from him, a great defensive play, but after Livers got the ball back, there wasn't much he could do to prevent that easy layup.
Yeah, help defense a little slow to get there. Maryland with the ball now. Herder with the ball at the top of the key, guarded by Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman. Passes it all the way over to Morcell, and though it's put back in for the score.
Great defense by Michigan on that first drive by Morcell, blocking the ball, but no box out, no one following the shot, and Morcell's able to get a rebound and an easy putback.
Simpson with the ball in the corner, drives to the rim, and no good. Rebound, great outlet pass to Herder for an easy layup.
And that is when the Maryland Terrapins are deadliest, when they're able to run in transition, get open shots, and we saw that from Anthony Cowan and Kevin Herder. Great defense by Cowan on that last possession.
Michigan, one of the better transition defenses in the country, though, but that one, Herder got away from them. Rockman with the ball at the top of the key. Matthews with the key. Great pass down to Wagner, who throws it down for the dunk.
Michael Tchaikovsky got a little lost there, following the ball a little too much, and in a man-to-man defense, you got to follow your man, try and help out a little too much, and he left Mo Wagner open for a wide-open dunk.
Herder with the ball at the top of the key now. Gives it. Now ball is in Morcell's hands. Down to Tchaikovsky. Posting up on Wagner. Dishes it back out to the top to Cowan. Sorry, Nickens. Nickens with the fadeaway jumper and got that in, though. I do not know if he got the shot off. I think.
Looks like they're going to go to the monitor and check.
Yeah, they are going to review it. I'm not sure if he got that shot off in time.
Regardless, that is not the shot Maryland wants from that possession. Mark Turgeon looks very angry at that possession. Jared Nickens is a great three-point shooter, as I mentioned pregame, but he is not somebody you want creating his own shot here. Let's see what it is going to count for the Maryland Terrapins. But still, you do not want Jared Nickens to have to take a fadeaway mid-range shot. That is not his shot, and he made it, but that's a lucky break for Maryland.
Yeah, I think Michigan can live with those shots, forcing Maryland to take mid-range jumpers. They do not want them to take threes. They did a great job of that against Michigan State in these slants and making them take only 12 threes the entire game. Michigan with the ball now. Xavier Simpson with the ball at the top of the key. Dribbling it around, waiting for stuff to develop. Now ball pass to Rockman. Rockman driving down to the baseline. Now dribbles it back up to the top of the key. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. And Rockman takes it himself. Layup no good. Rebounded by Nickens.
That was a great play by Tchaikovsky there, moving his feet, staying in front of Rockman and affecting that shot.
Down low to Tchaikovsky. That one is no good. Rebounded by Livers. Simpson dribbling the ball at the top of the key. To Wagner. Pump fakes from 3. Drives. And is rejected by Tchaikovsky.
Tchaikovsky's got as fast feet as Mo Wagner, and Mo's not gonna get the open shots he usually does against lesser competition at the center.
And we have an and one for Jared Nickens.
No one stops the ball when Maryland's coming up the court. Morcell just dribbles it up and lays it in for 2. And then he's going to go to the line to try to make it 9-4.
Number 10, Morcell at the line.
Yeah, correction on my end. It was Daryl Morcell that had the lane and one. And he misses the free throw. 8-4 now. Maryland in the lead. 17 minutes left in the first half. Wagner now with the ball at the top of the key. Back to Simpson. Rockman now with the ball. And he's driving on Tchaikovsky. And nice move. Reverse layup, though. Can't get it to go. Maryland now dribbling up the court.
Interesting to see Maryland settling down into a man-to-man defense. In much of the Ohio State game, they were playing a zone defense to preserve a little energy. But now they're playing a man-to-man, and it's working for them early.
And Tchaikovsky has an open lane to the rim. Wagner and Livers were out of position, and Tchaikovsky drives the rim and throws it down for an easy dunk.
For Michigan right now, no one's stopping the ball, especially when it's getting around the free throw line against Michigan's defense. No one's putting a hand on the ball and stopping it, and Maryland's getting easy points at the rim because of that.
So far, the Michigan's defense having a little trouble. Michigan's offense, too, trying to get something going. Wagner now with the ball, takes the three, and that goes.
Not necessarily a good shot by Mo Wagner, but one he can make, and it's good to see him getting on the board early. Hopefully he can turn that into a little momentum for the Wolverines.
Wagner, 5 points now for the Wolverines. It's 10-7 Maryland. 15.5 left to go. Cowan with the ball at the top of the key against Xavier Simpson. Cowan drives and he loses the ball out of bounds, and it'll be Michigan's ball. And we now go to the under 16-minute timeout.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see Cowan blowing by his defender there. He's one of the fastest players, not only in the Big Ten, but in the country. But good job by Xavier Simpson staying in front of him. He did get by him a little bit, but he stayed watching the ball and got a little, either tipped it or caused Cowan to throw the ball out of bounds. So a good defensive play by Xavier, even though he might not be as fast as Cowan.
Xavier Simpson has really come into his own these past couple of weeks and seizing the starting point guard position, and has proven himself to be a pretty decent perimeter defender. On Saturday, he managed to largely keep Cassius Winston, Michigan State's great point guard, in check, and he's going to have his hands full again today with Anthony Cowan.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Cowan's one of the best point guards in the Big Ten, but as we've seen the past couple of weeks, Xavier's getting up there too. You know, Xavier's been a good defensive player all year, and he's finding his voice a little bit on offense. So if Xavier can continue to attack the ball, run the offense, run with the ball within John Beilein's offense, Michigan could finally have that great point guard that we haven't had since really Derek Walton.
Yeah, definitely. Xavier Simpson, point guard, really a concern coming into this season. The first several games saw a bit of a rotation between Simpson, the freshman Eli Brooks, and the grad transfer Jerron Simmons. A little bit of kind of rotation and mix and match there. But then the last couple of weeks, Simpson has really seized the point guard position, really just by proving to be a great defender, but also, as you said, starting to become a lot more assertive on offense. The past several games, he's taken multiple shots per game. He actually has the highest three-point shooting percentage on the team for Michigan. Now, then again, he doesn't take as many threes as guys like Rockman, Charles Matthews, or Wagner does, but when he does, he usually makes them at almost 50%. So certainly really expanding his offensive game this year, and I think that's something that John Beilein really wants to see, as he now has 5 lethal shooters in the starting lineup.
Yeah, and I think that's a testament to John Beilein, because when Xavier Simpson came to Michigan, came to Ann Arbor out of high school, he wasn't a very good shooter, and that was a knock on him. That was a knock on his scouting report. He couldn't shoot the open jumper. And, you know, Beilein, being a great offensive coach that he is, great shooting coach, turned him into a solid shooter who at least can be relied on when he's given that open three. And that's what you see with him leading the team in three-point percentage. He's not taking more than 1 or 2 a game, but those 1 or 2 are wide open jumpers, and he's knocking them down. And that's what you need out of your point guard. Xavier Simpson probably is never going to be that bona fide star that Michigan wants out of the point guard position. But, you know, he can be a solid contributor out of that one spot. And you can have other guys like Charles Matthews, like Mo Wagner, take the lead scoring, and you can have a point guard who plays great defense, rebounds the ball effectively for a point guard, and can be a solid contributor there. Not all 5 of your players are going to be stars, but it's good when one player, and it looks like Melo Trimble and DeMonte Dodd are walking by us right now, and a couple Maryland players, past stars, coming to the game today.
Yeah, Maryland has had some good players come through the program the past several years. Mark Turgeon doing a great job at Maryland. 2015 Big Ten Coach of the Year. He's certainly got Maryland doing well in the Big Ten. We're now back from the timeout. Michigan with the ball. Delivers, now passes up to Rockman up the top of the key, guarded by Kevin Herter. Wagner now wanted to shoot the 3, working against Bruno Fernando. Delivers now pass to Matthews. Matthews trying to find something. Goes in for the reverse layup. Doesn't get that to go.
Great help defense by Joshua Tomajic coming over and affecting that shot. Not blocking it, but good job making Matthews know that he was there.
So far, Michigan has missed a few layups at the rim, though I think it's more to do with Maryland so far. Good protection at the rim. Maryland with the ball now. Cowan drives. Dishes is out to Tomajic with the 3. No good. Rebounded by Wagner.
Tomajic is not a guy you want popping that 3 very often. He hasn't shown much of his arsenal and what he was recruited to Maryland for, but he's not the best 3-point shooter in the world, and that's a shot Michigan would love to have Maryland take every possession.
Matthews now with the ball at the corner in front of the Maryland bench. Back to Simpson at the top. 10 on the shot clock. Michigan needs to get something going now. Simpson driving. Wagner pulls up a contested 3. No good. Great defense by Maryland on that possession.
Stagnant offense by Michigan. No moving without the ball. And John Violine's not going to be happy with that. And Maryland's defense is very good, especially when no one's moving and affecting shots.
Maryland, Cowan with the and 1. Gets that to go.
That was good defense by Xavier Simpson, but Anthony Cowan taking a trick out of Melo Trimble's book. Both of the point guards are great at causing fouls. He pushes his shoulder into Xavier Simpson and causes that ref to blow his whistle. That's a great play by Anthony Cowan. Good defense by Xavier, just better offense by Maryland.
A couple of guys off the bench now coming in for Michigan. You have John Teskey and Duncan Robinson in now for Livers and Wagner. They will go to the bench to sit for a little bit. Cowan hits the free throw. It is now 13-7 Terrapins. 13 minutes, 40 seconds left on the clock.
Interesting to see Maryland go in a little bit of a press here, and it almost gave Michigan an easy layup, but Rockman did miss it.
Michigan so far attacking the paint, but not having much success. Tomajic working on Teskey. Doesn't get that to... Oh, and the tip back in.
Right, that was Bruno Fernando working there, and that's what you see when you get from Bruno Fernando. Hard worker. He's going to work to the point of exhaustion. It's going to be interesting to see how many minutes Maryland can get from him in this game.
Matthews now with the ball at the top of the key. Matthews driving to the corner to Simpson. Simpson with the mid-range jumper, no good. Maryland doing a great job of taking away the 3-point line for Michigan.
Not a very good possession there by Michigan. Not very much moving without the ball. Not very much offense for Michigan. And it starts with Xavier Simpson not really controlling that point guard spot.
And a travel on Bruno Fernando. He certainly had a mismatch on Duncan Robinson, but he dragged his pivot foot, and that'll be a turnover for Maryland.
Fantastic defense there by Duncan, denying Bruno, who probably has got 50 pounds on him, denying him moving closer into the paint. Great job by Duncan on a matchup that he's not going to want to see too much in this game.
Michigan now bringing the ball. Eli Brooks is checked in for Xavier Simpson. The true freshman has been getting a lot of playing time at point guard. And he fires the 3 in and out. And a rebound and Teskey is fouled by Bruno Fernando, who went over Teskey to try to grab the rebound, but you're going to get called for that every single time when you try and do that.
Yeah, that looked like a bang-bang play from here, but, it's interesting to see how these refs are going to call this game. Looks like they're calling fair, but they're going to keep the whistles in their mouths for most of this game. Call a lot of fouls tonight.
Matthews, pull-up jumper, no good. Michigan having trouble shooting the ball.
Contested jumpers are not what you want if you're Michigan. You want to try to get some open layups, get some open jumpers here. and they've just been settling so far as of late.
Maryland, Tomajic with the ball now back to Morcell. Gives it back to Cowan. 8-7 on the shot clock. They need to move. Cowan, wild 3 attempt that banks it in.
Not a great possession for Maryland on offense. Michigan doing a great job stifling Maryland. Maryland not moving much there and giving no open shots. And Anthony Cowan just makes a circus shot there, going for the foul.
And a little alley-oop lay-in from Matthew Stuteski finally ends Michigan's 4-minute scoreless streak. It is now 18-9 Terps, 11.5 left to go. Michigan has yet to reach double digits in points. Cowan now guarded by Brooks and dishes it to great passing around. Morcell passes back out. Cowan driving.
Too many passes.
And it's off the fingertips of Bruno Fernando, and it's another Maryland turnover. And we are now going to a under 12-minute timeout. It is Michigan 9, Maryland 18, 10:59 left on the clock.
Michigan's going to have to do a better job of getting open shots on offense. And I don't know if that's going to be backing down, getting one-on-ones with Teske and Mo Wagner in the paint, or maybe it's going to be some ball reversals and some cutting that's going to get some open layups, get some open threes. Michigan's going to have to do something to get some open shots. Right now, they have got no open shots, and they've just been missing contested layups and contested threes, and that's not going to win this game. Michigan's a good shooting team when they're open, and they haven't gotten open much today. Now, Maryland looks like a team that's angry, looks like a team that isn't happy that it's lost 2 of its last 3 by 30 points. But, you know, they look like a team that's coming out here and playing great defense. But Michigan can definitely combat that with great shooting. And this is a great offensive team, and we've seen that this year. We saw that on Saturday when Michigan played Michigan State. They just got to play within their game, not be worried about it. And I think we're seeing them come a little bit down off of that high of that Michigan State game right now.
Yes, certainly. And I mean, I think Maryland has made 5 of the last 7. Michigan, on the other hand, 1 of their last 7. That has really been a difference so far. Is Maryland's done a great job defensively against Michigan, getting them out of their rhythm, not allowing them to get open looks at three-pointer. In fact, they're really just taking away Michigan's ability to shoot the three ball entirely. They only have 3 attempts at the three-point line so far, and for a Michigan team that really likes to shoot the 3 ball, Maryland's doing a great job taking that away. And I mean, offensively, they've been incredibly efficient, 8 of 12 overall so far. John Bailey needs to try and draw something up to get his guys open, and try to space the floor more against Maryland.
Yeah, interesting to see Bruno Fernando out there giving Maryland a couple of hard minutes. You see what you get from a hard-working guy, but, you know, towards the end of that last possession, his hand was on his knees and he was breathing hard. And, you know, I think that those flu-like symptoms are going to come and bite him in the butt a little bit now. So he's probably going to check out here, but you're going to have to. And it's interesting to see how much he plays. This is probably the 3rd best player on this team right now with Justin Jackson out. And getting big minutes from him would help this Maryland team a lot.
As you mentioned, depth is going to be a problem for Maryland. They are currently pretty much only running a 7-man rotation tonight, though we might see Sean Obi coming in. Deion Wiley out for the game. As you mentioned, Justin Jackson is also out. So Maryland kind of will have to go deep into its bench in order to get fresh legs out onto the court. Certainly Michigan notices that and wants to take advantage of that depth, but they do need to get something rolling on offense.
You're definitely right. Got to get something on offense. So far, we've seen 20 seconds of nothing happening. And then at the last 5 seconds, they're trying to do something and get an open look. And it's not working against this Maryland defense right now.
We're now back from the timeout. On the court for Michigan is Muhammad Ali Abdul-Rahman, Eli Brooks, Duncan Robinson, John Teske, and checking into the game now is Jordan Poole, another talented freshman shooting guard. Rahman bringing the ball up the court to Duncan Robinson. Rahman with the ball in the corner, back up top to Eli Brooks. 14 left on the shot clock. Teskey now with the ball and has a layup but can't get it in. Another easy layup missed by Michigan, and Maryland is running. Driving to the corner now, a 3 attempt by, that is no good. A total air ball on that. Eli Brooks now moving up the court, and wild pass covered by Robinson.
Brooks is just out of control right now. Cowan almost picked his pocket. He just does not look in control right now.
Robinson open from the corner, gets that to go. A 3-pointer from Duncan Robinson.
Miscommunication. Looks like Mark Turgeon's blaming Michael Jakowski on that play. And really just a miscommunication on that defensive possession, leaving Duncan Robinson open. Looks like Nickens did not call out a screen, and it left Duncan with a wide open 3 that he's going to bang home 9 out of 10 times.
Maryland with the ball now, 10 left on the shot clock. They need to go. Kevin Herter now back and now Cowan with the ball. He posts up another 3, gets that to go. Twice now as the shot clock is about to expire. Anthony Cowan hoists up a unadvisable 3 and gets it to go. 21-12 now, Terrapins.
I don't even know if it's unadvisable at this point. He's knocking him down with such ease. Great player. Comes to show at the biggest stage, and he looks like he's quiet in the crowd right now.
Poole drives and is fouled.
They're going to call it on the floor, though. It's not going to count. Interesting to see. Michigan's bringing a lot more aggression on defense right now. Hands up, smart playing, and Maryland's just playing better offense right now. A couple of these possessions they've been bailed out by Anthony Cowan drilling a 3. But, Maryland's just hitting shots right now, shooting 64%, 2 of 4 from 3. And Michigan right now just isn't, and it's hurting them.
Simpson and Wagner checked back in now to the game.
2 missed free layups will do that for you for John Teskey.
Duncan Robinson now with the ball. They need to go. 5 left on the shot clock. Simpson drives, and a floater does not go.
Great job by Michael Tchaikovsky affecting that shot, almost getting the block there, but that was a good drive by Xavier Simpson, getting into the lane. You'd like to see him put that up a little earlier and not have to worry about Checo's hand getting in there.
Nickens with the ball back to Tchaikovsky at the top of the key. Gets it to Cowan, 10 on the shot clock. Dribbling around, passes it to Nickens, pulls up a jumper, no good. Rebound by Tchaikovsky, gets that to go. He just ripped that out of Wagner's hands and give the easy putback.
And if you're Mo Wagner, you gotta grab that board. You gotta grab that hard. That's now 14-5 that Maryland's out rebounding Michigan, and that should not be the case for the Wolverines. The Wolverines are a good rebounding team. Maryland without 2 of its top 4 big men in this game. You got to be able to out rebound this team, and you're not going to win if you're losing by over 10.
We have a foul on Michael Tchaikovsky. That will bring us to the under 8-minute timeout. Maryland, an 11-point lead over the Wolverines, leading 23-12. 8 minutes left here in this first half.
Maryland's playing really well right now, shooting 63% from the floor, and Michigan has to ride this storm. We saw this in the Purdue game. Purdue came in shooting really hot from the court, from the floor, making everything, and you saw those 2 Anthony Cowan shots just fall when they should not have. And, Michigan's just going to have to level the storm. They're going to have to stay in this game. It doesn't look like they're going to cut into this lead too much right now with Maryland shooting so well. But in the second half, they can chip away at that lead and come back. But if they let it get out of hand here, the deficit grows to 20 or maybe even 30 points, Michigan's going to struggle right now. They're shooting 29% from the floor. Have only made two threes right now, and they've missed a lot of open shots. And you cannot have that to beat a team like Maryland, which is in the upper echelon of the Big Ten.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 12 points from Michigan, 8 minutes left in the first half. That certainly is probably Michigan's worst offensive performance so far this season. They just really aren't getting any separation, aren't getting any good looks. Credit to Maryland's defense. They simply just look like they have more energy out there. That could be the extra rest, and Michigan coming off only 1 day of rest. Also at the same time, Michigan coming off a very big win against the rival Michigan State. Certainly could be some emotional drop-off, but regardless, Maryland just looks like the faster, hungrier team out there. Michigan not really. It just looks a little lifeless out there, and I'm sure John Beeline has got to be really upset with his team so far and really needs to find some answers, trying to chip away at this lead in the second half. But they've got work to do. Down by 11, 8 minutes left to go.
You're definitely right. Beeline's not happy with this performance right now, and it's going to be interesting to see how we can spark this team. You know, you can yell at your players all you want, but John Beeline's not going on the court right now. So it could be a guy like we've seen in the past, Jordan Poole come in, provide a little spark with athleticism and three-point shooting. Maybe it's Livers, who's starting now but has provided a spark in the past. Maybe it's even Charles Matthews, who's taken over the game at different points in the season. But someone's going to have to step up for the Wolverines right now, take a couple shots, make a couple in a row, and get this ball rolling for them. And hopefully they'll have a little energy moving into the second half. Because right now it's about closing out this half, closing out strong, and getting a chance to be in this game as we go along.
I think it could really start by making some of these easy layups. Michigan has had multiple easy layup attempts this half that have simply not gone in. They're shooting 5 of 17, 3 of 13 from 2. A lot of these misses have been layups that Michigan really should have at least 18 points on the board, but missed bunny layups has really cost Michigan. And it's simply a concentration thing. You know, when you have such an easy shot like that, it's not technique or anything. It's Michigan certainly just needs to kind of wake up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see John Teskey for a while after those 2 missed bunny layups.
Michigan now with the ball. Great defense by Maryland. 10 on the shot clock. Livers now with the ball. It's back to Simpson. Simpson splits him with a tier floater. That does not go in. Rebound by Cowan. Great job saving it and picked up by Nickens.
If you're Michigan, you got to be running to every ball. Cowan just wanted that rebound more. Michigan could have easily had it. Cowan outworked everybody on the court to get to that ball and pass it into Nickens.
Bruno Fernando with the ball down low. Double team managed to escape. Back to Cowan at the top. 10 left on the shot clock. Then Cowan's going to take this himself. Drives. Pulls up a wild 2 off the backboard. And it's out on Michigan. Livers is trying to save the ball, but stepped out of bounds. It'll remain Maryland possession with a fresh 30 on the clock.
Good effort there by Livers trying to keep that in. Beeline's not going to be mad about that. But it was a good defensive possession by Michigan. Of course, they have to close it out after Maryland passes the ball in. But we're going to have to see them shut them down. And looks like
they're going to review it. I'm not sure what they're going to review here, but officials are heading to the table. 7-11 left in this half. Score is still 23-12. Maryland. Michigan on a 3-minute scoring drought now.
Interesting to see Anthony Cowan drive the ball so effectively in this game. He's a smaller point guard, only 5'11", 5'10". So, you know, it's going to be easier to affect his shots. He's made a lot of circus layups this year, and he's made a lot of circus three-point shots in this game. But, you know, he's a smaller point guard. If you put a guy like Livers, you get a guy like Mo Wagner towering over him, he's going to have to put up a circus shots. You know, him driving to the lane is not as bad as people might think. But, you know, it's just getting a hand on that ball, getting a hand close to that ball and affecting his shot, something that Michigan really hasn't done today, and it can do to really shut down Anthony Cowan in the paint.
So after the review, it will remain Maryland ball with 2 seconds on the shot clock. That looked like they were reviewing. Herter now with a wild 3 and no good. Rebounded by Simpson. Michigan moving the ball up now. Simpson passes to Rockman. Wagner out the ball at the top of the key to Matthews, who's been quiet so far, and gets it and just loses possession. He had the dunk, just slips out of his hand, and it's another missed opportunity for Michigan. And then Herter just takes it on.
Matthews redeems himself a little bit there with that block of Herter's easy layup, but it was still a bad miss for Charles Matthews.
Livers for 3, no good. Michigan just cannot buy a shot at this point.
Interesting to see how much energy Michigan's going to come out on defense with this possession. Cannot afford to give up an easy shot here. Missed a couple easy layups. It's easy to have that energy drain, but no. playing great defense with their hands up so far on that possession.
Tipped by Matthews. Tried to save it, but was out of bounds. Remaining Maryland possession. 13 left on the shot clock. And we are waiting for the inbound pass to go. Passes it to Nickens, who fires the three. Gets that to go.
Nickens is a great three-point shooter, very reminiscent of Duncan Robinson. And every Michigan fan has hated over the past couple years to see Duncan's lack of defense, but great three-point shooting. And that's what Nickens provides for this team, forcing action a little bit. That was a great shot by him and a great make.
It's a great inbounds play to get that. Michigan, Matthews driving and finally gets a layup to go. Matthews takes that himself. And Michigan finally ends a 4-minute scoring drought. 26-14 Maryland, 5.5 left. And Cowan responds with a missed bunny layup. And Michigan driving now.
And Bruno Fernando just looks dead on this possession. He was walking up the court. He motioned to Turgeon to get a replacement in for him, and he's struggling right now.
And Matthews now working on Fernando. Simpson now fires from three. No good. Rebounded by Fernando.
And if you're Maryland, that's a shot that you would like Michigan to take. We talked about how Xavier's a good shooter when he's open, but that was not an open shot. It was a couple steps behind the three-point arc with Anthony Cowan's hand in his face, and that's not a shot.
Herder, a deep three. No good. Rebounded by Matthews.
That's not a bad shot for Herder. That's a shot he's shown that he can make over the past year.
And that ball looked like it was hit out. I don't know what the refs were seeing there.
Looks like the fans would like a goaltending call there.
It should have been a goaltending, but there is a foul on
Anthony Cowan.
That certainly looked like goaltending upon replay, but missed call.
Can't do anything about it now. Just going to have to move on, play hard on offense here, and get those 2 points back themselves.
So Michigan will inbound the ball after the Cowan foul. 25 left on the shot clock.
Let's see who they go to on this possession.
Robinson is checked back in now for Livers. And inbounds it to Wagner, back to Simpson. Duncan with the three at the top of the key. That's no good. Rebound is off and will remain in Michigan's hands.
And that looks like a bad call by the referees. Looks like it was off of Michigan. And Mark Turgeon is livid over that call, and it looks like he has a right to be.
And, well, the refs have switched the call, and I'll call it Maryland.
One of the refs came over and sat Nemo Midvar, the director of player operations for the Maryland Terrapins, and sat him down because he was getting a little too riled up.
Cowan now ball at the top of the key. Cowan working on Robinson, and a foul on Duncan Robinson, and that'll be send Cowan to the line to shoot two.
Really didn't look like a foul there. It looked like a great job on defense from Duncan Robinson staying in front of Anthony Cowan, but it looks like a case of the smaller guy getting the call because he's running into the bigger guy, and he's moved off the ball a little bit. No matter, it's going to be Duncan's first foul of the game. No one really in foul trouble for either team at this point.
Cowan gets the first one to go.
No free throw shots for the Wolverines today. Maryland is 2 for 3 from the line. All those shots have come from Anthony Cowan.
Cowan now take his second attempt, and that goes. 28-14 now Maryland. 4 minutes left in the second half. A low-scoring affair. Well, at least for Michigan, it's been a very low-scoring first half. Just 14 points.
Struggling to put the ball in the basket, even when it's easy for him. Those easy bunny layups are tough.
Wagner with the ball at the top of the key to Wagner, to Robinson. Puts up a three, in and out. Just nothing will go in.
It's something we've seen a lot of the past couple games from Robinson. Hasn't shot the ball particularly well from three. Almost makes him unplayable from that 4 spot as he doesn't provide much defensively.
And a travel on that, and that will send us to the under 4-minute timeout. It'll be Michigan's ball when we come back from timeout. The score is 28-14 Maryland, 3:33 left to play in the first half. So Michigan, I mean, in the 4 years I've been here, I don't think I've seen a worse offensive performance so far in the first half from them. Just 14 points so far on 6 of 24 shooting, just 25% overall. It is bad by any objective measure, and this is simply just shocking to see from a Michigan team, from a John Beilein team that really is known for offense, and yet they can't seem to buy a shot.
I think there's a couple factors playing into that. First, they're coming off the high of that win against Michigan State. They were playing so well in that game. And, they're looking to this game. They're kind of looking ahead. They think this is going to be an easy one. We can beat Michigan State. We can beat anybody. But, Maryland's a good team. They're top upper echelon team in the Big Ten. And they're not a team you can just roll by, even with injury problems. So, Michigan's kind of looked like they didn't take this one a little as seriously as they needed to. Preparation coming up to this game. On short rest, especially, that it looks like they kind of took a day off maybe or something like that. And second, they're missing easy shots that you can't miss at the D1 level against any team. Michigan playing like this would be losing against 95% of the teams in Division I basketball, regardless of Power 5 or not. They're not playing well right now. They're not shooting well right now. You can't miss open dunks like Charles Matthews did. You can't miss two bunny layups like John Teskey did. If you make an open shots, you're going to be back in this game. And the third thing that I don't want to harp on because they're not the great defense, but Maryland's played really good defense right now. Maryland's come out, and they're the much feistier team right now. They want this win. Last game against Ohio State, they got blown out. 2 games before that against Michigan State, they got blown out. This is their next game against a ranked team, against a team that's very good in Michigan, who we all know is very good, and they're putting it to them right now. They want this win, and if Michigan's going to win this game, they're going to have to want it more. And right now, it looks like they don't want it very much, and they just thought that they could be lackadaisical and just win this game off of just their pure talent. And Maryland matches up with them, and they're matching up with them very well right now. So for Michigan, it's going to have to be more focused in this game, making easy shots, playing better offense, moving without the ball. It's not insurmountable right now, but it could be as we get towards the end of this first half. They do not cut this lead down a little bit.
Yeah, certainly with 3.5 left to go, Michigan should aim to at least cut this lead down to single digits by the halftime, get them a little bit of momentum, something to work with going into halftime. I mean, ideally they should try and hit that 20 mark. Otherwise, this could be a truly bad first half scoring-wise overall. I don't think I personally have never seen such a bad offensive performance in a single half from Michigan. And we now return from the timeout, and it'll be Michigan's ball. On the court for the Wolverines is Muhammad Abdul-Rahman, Xavier Simpson, Duncan Robinson, Mo Wagner, and Charles Matthews. Very quiet day so far from Simpson and Rahman. They have 0 points combined. Just no one really seeming to get any offensive rhythm going. Simpson now moving the ball up the court. To Rahman now working on Tchaikovsky. To Robinson, back to Rahman, working on Tchaikovsky, and it's a foul on Tchaikovsky. It'll be on the floor. Tchaikovsky, that'll be a second foul, and that'll send him to the bench, likely for the remainder of the half, and Bruno Fernando will come back into the game. It is just the 5th foul on Maryland, so Michigan will inbound. 18 left on the shot clock. Simpson, top of the key. Simpson drives and again misses a layup.
And Simpson made 2 mistakes there. One glaring and the other one small. First, he missed that bunny layup. Can't do that. We just talked about that. You can't miss layups. He got by his defenders and he missed that layup. Second, he got angry. He let his emotion show on the court right there. He fouled him. He tried to get that rebound. He went too hard there. He was angry. And you can't do that, especially after missing a shot like that. You can follow your shot. You can try to get the rebound, but you cannot foul in that situation. That's a dumb foul. And it looks like it could cost him his position on the floor right now. Someone's about to check in for the Wolverines.
And Dishes that low, and it's a scrum for the ball between Fernando and Wagner. I think they're calling it a jump ball, but Maryland will retain possession. Possession area pointing that way. Checking it for Michigan now is Jerron Simmons, the grad transfer from Ohio University. Has played very sparingly, but at this point, Michigan D-line is just looking for something to try and jumpstart this team, and he's turning to the senior.
Yeah, maybe you can give him a spark here. Maybe you can give him something, as no one on this Michigan team looked ready to play for this game.
Cowan, a long three, no good. Very off the mark. Rebounded by Robinson. Dribbling the ball up. Simmons back to Robinson. Back to top to Simmons.
Definitely a heat check there for Cowan. He's already got 11 in this game. It's not a good shot, though, even if he's feeling himself a little bit.
Wagner now with the ball. Back to Matthews. Back to Simmons at the top of the key. 8 left on the shot clock. And a foul on Kevin Herter on Wagner. So he was trying to drive to the rim for a reach-in foul.
That's going to be Herter's second. And let's see if Mark Turgeon will choose to keep him in the game, as Maryland's guard depth is nearly non-existent at this point.
Michigan will inbound the ball with 20 on the shot clock. Simmons now working, looking to drive, passes it back out to Matthews, 10 on the shot clock. Great pass to Wagner, and finally get a layup to go. Great find from Matthews to Wagner down low, and he gets the layup in.
And I love to see Wagner pumping up the crowd here. He's going to be the source of energy, and we've seen that now as Mark Turgeon's going to take a timeout and try to quiet down this Michigan crowd. That wasn't bad defense by Maryland necessarily, but that was a great shot by Michigan and a great offensive play to get Wagner a layup. And he's going to make those. And it looks like Wagner's going to be the spark that's going to upstart this team. Maryland has not made a shot in 2 minutes, and Michigan's starting to play better defense on that end of the court. The offense still hasn't come there, but hopefully that can be the start of something.
28-16, Maryland. Maryland called a timeout. 1:47 left on the clock. And Maryland will have the ball when we return from the timeout. Turgeon just calling timeout to talk things over. Try and set up a play. Also maybe quiet down the crowd that had gone a little bit louder after that Wagner layup.
Really doesn't take much right now for this Michigan crowd. They're hungry to cheer for something here, and even a made layup like that, any layup going down for Michigan will largely get them excited at this point.
The offense has certainly been really hard to come by. Really, Wagner's the only guy providing any sort of offense. He has 7 of Michigan's 16 points. And we are now back from the timeout. Cowan bringing the ball up the court. Guarded by Simmons. Switched on to Duncan Robinson. Bit of a mismatch. Cowan just looks like he can take this himself. 7 on the shot clock. Drives, and great move on Robinson.
Broke Duncan Robinson's ankles a little bit there. Stuck him in his tracks. Cowan's one of the fastest players in the Big Ten, and he showed it right there.
That's the switch they wanted. Matthews with the ball now at the top of the key. Matthews puts up a 3. No good. Very short of the mark.
Good rebound there by Fernando. Boxing out even though no one was there. You gotta love to see the effort by those Maryland fans.
And they're going to get Cowan for a violation, and that'll be Michigan's ball. Another Maryland turnover.
Yeah, that's something Maryland done a lot in this season. 5 turnovers already today. One of the top turnover teams in the country. Not something you want to see. Let's see here. It's 319th in the country in turnover margin. That's not something you ever want to see if you're a team.
That has certainly been the only thing that has gone wrong for Maryland in this game. And Rockbond gets a layup to go. 30-18 Maryland. 40 seconds left on the shot clock. I think Maryland will bring this shot all the way down and get a shot with about and working on Robinson. That doesn't go.
Morcell trying to take that Wagner pogo stick shot. that he took at the end of the Michigan State game, but Wagner looks like he's a little better at it than the 6'5" Daryl Morcell.
So Michigan will have the last shot. 10 seconds left. Simmons driving and gets that to go. And that'll be the end of the half. And so Michigan finally gets a couple layups to go, cuts the deficit to 10 going into halftime. Not a bad finish given the way this first half went. Maryland will head into the locker room with a 30-20 lead over the Wolverines, and certainly a little bit of momentum for Michigan to come out of the second half.
Yeah, you know, that was a good last couple minutes there to cut the lead, Maryland's lead to 10. And you want to see that from Michigan. They stayed in this game, just like the Purdue game. That Purdue game, they were losing by 14 at half. So it's only 10 right now to Maryland. So Michigan definitely has a chance to come back in this game if they keep playing offense as well as they played in the last couple minutes, and they played defense solid like they have the last 8 minutes of that game. They're still in this game. Wagner's got to take authority on the court. Matthews got to take a couple more shots. So this is a game that Michigan is definitely still in. They're definitely a second half team, and it's going to be interesting to see if they can come back.
That'll bring our first half coverage to an end. Ian and Nate will be covering the second half for WCBN. I am Jeff Chan and Alex Kramer, and we will see you back in a little bit.
All right, we're back. WCBN Sports FM 88.3 Ann Arbor, live from the Crisler Center here in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I'm Ian Leversall, joined by Nate Sorensen, and we're about to talk, kind of rehash about that first half. It was, quite honestly, probably the worst half we've seen from Michigan basketball so far this season. I mean, really nothing offensively was falling for the Wolverines. Defensively, not the worst effort for the Wolverines. Maryland with a lot of last-second jumpers going in. Nate, how would you assess that first half?
Well, it just really looks like Michigan was sleepwalking out there, especially at the very start of the game. Start of the first half, just we're not really running any offense. Coming down, there was lots of guys just standing around, not moving off of ball, tons of dribbling, leading to some just very tough shots. Just overall, Michigan's not, shooting very efficiently because they haven't been working to get efficient shots. A lot of guys going ISO ball. It's just not working out. But I have to say, at the end of that first half, they kind of started to pick it up a little bit. Guys were moving around, running the offense, and that's when Michigan gets their best shots.
Absolutely. It was a lot of slow, stagnant play on the offensive end. It felt like a lot of guys, like you said, just standing around. Rockman in particular and the point guards would get the ball, just kind of dribble it around at the top, wait for a pick, and just kind of dump it off. It felt like a lot of the same really for that whole first half. Interesting to see Beeline go with Eli Brooks a lot of time at point guard and even give Jerron Simmons the last few minutes. I think that just shows the frustration at the point guard position. And then even putting Jordan Poole in for Muhammad Ali Abdul-Rahman at the shooting guard position as well, because Rahman was someone who I think, Beeline figured was contributing to that stagnation. So I think, if the Wolverines want to pick this one up, they're down 10 points, 30-20. Their lowest scoring half of the entire season. And if they want to pick this one up, it's going to require, the three-pointers need to fall. But more importantly, before you're looking for the bailout three-pointers, the last few seconds of the possession, I think the Wolverines need to make sure it's not coming down to the last few seconds of the possession.
Yeah, and that's something that Michigan struggled with the entire season is maybe passing the ball a little bit too much when
Absolutely.
They're going through the offense, not taking maybe the first shot that's available and just keep waiting, hoping that a better shot will turn up, and then next thing you know, the shot clock's up. When you have a 30-second shot clock, that's just way too much time for the shot clock to run out on you. You should always be able to find a good shot in that amount of time. And, it's not always that Michigan can't find a good shot. They just don't always take them.
Absolutely. It's been an interesting first half. I think, like you say, also, yeah, there wasn't exactly a shortage of open shots. I think it was a lot of Wolverines afraid to take them, and also the layups. The layups were not falling. A lot of high percentage shots under the rim and just not falling for the Wolverines. I don't know if they're expecting to get fouled. I don't know if I don't know what the deal is with those, but an unusual amount of misses from right under the hoop and on layups, and we saw a dunk slip right out of the hands of Charles Matthews' hands up when he was going up. Mm-hmm. It's just been a lot of that so far. Michigan shooting 31% from the field, 22% from three. Maryland, 48% from the field, 38% from three. That's not how the Wolverines are going to get this one done. Wolverines taken 0 free throws so far in this game. What's been keeping them in it somewhat, 10 points is, not an impossible. It is manageable. Is the 5 turnovers from Maryland compared to Michigan's 1. Michigan's been a very low percentage turnover team. They don't turn the ball over on many of their possessions. And here they go. Muhammad Ali Abdul-Rahman taking the ball up to start this second half. Out there with Charles Matthews, Mo Wagner, Xavier Simpson, and the freshman, Isaiah Livers. Simpson working the ball on the outside. He's looking for a man. No one is open. Stagnation. Matthews gets the ball, drives into the rim, and he's fouled on the way up. Oh, sorry, that one is on the ground, I believe.
Well, interesting. I thought he would get the continuation there. A lot of confusion out on the court right now. Michigan thought Matthews was getting some free throws there, and the refs had to tell him it's coming out of bounds on the baseline.
30-20 is the score in favor of the Maryland Terrapins. Abdul-Rahman with the ball up top, working around a Mo Wagner screen. He pulls up for three. No good.
Yeah, and that's a shot right there. Michigan did not need, again, 13 seconds still left on the shot clock. That was a contested look for Rahman. You got to pass that one up.
Absolutely.
Look for something better.
And Maryland taking the ball up. That's number 10. Morcell to Huerter. Huerter over to Nickens with the travel.
Yeah, this Crisler Arena crowd has been really loud here today. I've been getting right in the ref's ear on a lot of calls.
They have been. They've been looking to explode, and that just they haven't had many opportunities for that. Great showing for the student section. Not as much to be said for the rest of the crowd. Here we go. Abdul Rahman working it around to Matthews. Matthews drives in. He's fouled on the ground once again.
Yeah, and I like the aggressiveness of Matthews so far. Penetrating, that's sometimes a problem for Michigan, is just passing it around the perimeter with not a lot of guys trying to get inside and attack the rim. Matthews is the best guy, I believe, penetrating, getting to the rack. He's, taking advantage of his size and length so far here.
Absolutely, and as we see Matthews able to get 2 quick fouls on Maryland. Xavier Simpson with the ball. He throws it up to Mo. Mo can't find that one. Sokovsky steals it, but he's out of bounds. Michigan will retain the ball. 10 seconds left on the shot clock there. Inbound to Matthews. Matthews' layup is good. Maryland 30, Michigan 22. The crowd is back on their feet, jumping, and back into this one, all ready to start the second half. Huerter taking the ball up for Maryland to Cohen. Cohen driving in. He stops. Nickens. Morcell, that is. Swatted away by Xavier Simpson. The pass, it'll be Maryland ball. Oh, that one really got the crowd excited there.
Yeah, and Michigan's defense has been playing very well all day today. Obviously riding the high after that Michigan State win where they were just absolutely dominant in the defensive end.
Yeah, they do look tired so far to start this game. A three-pointer for Maryland, no good. Rebound, Simpson. That's going the Michigan way. He's taking it up right now up top, looking for a screen. He gets one from Mo Wagner. Delivers, pass, 3, no good. Herder with the rebound for Maryland. Herder up to Mickens for 3, no good. Michigan rebound, Matthews. Matthews taking this one up. Back, he's going to go right to the rim. No, he passes it. Livers, up. That's 2.
And that's just a terrific look there by Matthews, slashing to the basket.
Everyone up on their feet.
Livers kind of went backdoor on there. Mo Wagner was kind of in the way. I don't think Maryland expected him to get the ball.
He did. Big surprise there. An offensive foul for Herder, and the momentum has shifted in the Wolverines' favor. And yeah, like you said, Nate, that was really interesting. I thought Matthews, of course, he looked like he was just going to take that one right to the rack. He, started carrying that like a running back almost, and then threw that pass over to Livers. Livers with the easy 2. Simpson up top now for Michigan, 24-30. Maryland still leads. Michigan back in this one. Rockman with the drive, throws it up, no good. Rebound, Wolverines. The possession is reset. Simpson with the ball right now, working it around up top, looking for Mo Wagner. He finds him for 3. It's good! Wolverines 27, Maryland 30. And this crowd is all up on their feet. Timeout, Maryland, and the Wolverines have gotten the momentum into their favor. 17 minutes, 20 seconds remain.
Yeah, like you were saying, Ian, this crowd was just waiting for an opportunity to get
Absolutely.
up, get excited. Michigan finally gave it to them. And you know what really started it was penetration, getting to the basket.
Yes.
The three-point shots weren't going down to start off this half. I mean, Matthews starts going to the basket, and then right there, they kind of leverage that into three-point opportunities. Simpson drives. Mo Wagner takes the opportunity to bounce out. Simpson dishes it out to him. Open 3, and Mo Wagner's going to hit that way more often than he's going to miss it. And that's
absolutely.
It's a big play for Michigan. They're right in this ball game, even after an abysmal start to this game.
It says so much about the Wolverines. They had their worst half of the entire season, their lowest scoring half of the entire season, scoring only 20 points to start this game. In 20 minutes of play, they scored 20 points, and yet they are still in this game right here with 17 minutes and 20 seconds left in the second half. Wolverines 27, Terrapins 30. 3 fouls so far in this half for the Maryland Terrapins. Michigan has not fouled yet, so that'll be a plus heading down the stretch.
Yeah, and plus Maryland already with the 2 turnovers in the half. That's what Michigan needs, is force some turnovers, and get some fast break opportunities off of those turnovers and
Absolutely.
get to the basket. too often Michigan will settle for outside shots. They need those baskets in the paint to open up those shots. And so far, so good for them here in the second half.
Absolutely. Nate, I agree with you. This has been a big momentum shift for the Wolverines. And Maryland with a rather sloppy start in that first 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Long timeout here. We are on Fox Sports 1 today as well, here from the Crisler Center. Timeouts are going to feel extra long today. Maryland breaks their huddle, and they're getting ready to go.
Yeah, and would think Maryland's got to be pretty thankful for the longer timeouts here. We've been talking about Michigan looking like they've been sleepwalking here today, but Maryland is dealing with a lot of injuries.
Absolutely.
A lot of players with illnesses. So far, they've only played 7 guys, and 4 of their 5 starters have played nearly this entire game so far. And Fernando, one of their best players, typically their starter at the 5, did not start today. He's only played about 10 minutes. But really, 1 through 4, Cowan, Herter, Morsell, and Nickens have played about this entire game. They've had 3 different guys switch up and play the 5.
Yeah, no excuses for the Wolverines looking tired here. Maryland's got to feel the same way as Maryland dribbles that one out of bounds, but it looks like number 4, Herter, was fouled first. I think that one's going to be on Mo Wagner. That'll be Mo's first, and the first for Wolverines in this second half. Almost a turnover there for Maryland. And a swat by Mo Wagner. Charles Matthews with the rebound. He takes it up, and he loses that one. Bounces that one right off his own knee. Another turnover for Maryland. This time it's Simpson taking it up. He throws it up. He's fouled. And one! An and one for the Wolverines. And Xavier Simpson takes control.
Wow, pretty hectic possession right there, but pretty importantly for Maryland here is that it looks like Herter is hobbled.
Oh, man.
And Maryland brought in a couple of subs, but Herter's still out there. Again, he's played this entire game so far. I don't know if they have anyone to take his spot on the floor. He is really looking injured. He's doubled over.
Man, this Maryland team, just no luck for them on these injuries. 3 guys out to start the game and a couple other banged up already. Tie ball game. Xavier Simpson hits that free throw, 30-30. The Wolverines are on a 10-0 run to start the half. Everyone is on their feet. The student section is going wild. Very nice start to the half. If you're John Beilein, you got to love this. But knowing John Beilein, I'm not sure he's particularly happy with anything. We know his temperament. He's always looking for more. Maryland with a layup. That is Cohen. His 15th points of the game. Amazing game for Cohen so far.
Yeah.
The point guard of this Maryland team. Really the heart of their offense with all their stars out. Justin Jackson, Bruno Fernando. I believe Fernando is playing right now. Pardon.
Yeah,
layup.
Still not at 100% though. And Cowan has definitely been the star of this game so far.
And a layup miss for Charles Matthews, who has had no luck really inside the paint this game so far. Of course, he has been fouled a few times. And a swat! A swat by Charles Matthews, rebounded by Muhammad Ali Abdur Rahman, who takes it to the rim and turns that one over in a rather strange way. It slipped right out of his hands. Oh, an easy fast break layup for the Maryland Terrapins. That's Morsell, his 6 points of the game.
Yeah, a couple of very uncharacteristic turnovers here by the Wolverines. Matthews and Rockman both just giving away the ball.
And an easy layup missed by Xavier Simpson. That has to be the 15th missed layup of this game for the Wolverines. My goodness, 34-30, the Terrapins lead.
Yeah,
Cohen.
Simpson cannot buy a basket. He's 1 of 8 now from the field.
Bruno Fernando working in the post over Livers. Easy 2 for him. 36-30 Terrapins. The Wolverines unable to find any luck on these fast breaks here. A lot of turnovers. A lot of turnovers for Maryland. That's 8 turnovers for the Terrapins so far. And the Wolverines have only capitalized on a few of those. Easy steal for Bruno Fernando, who is fouled right before he can lay that one in. Mo Wagner chasing him down. And the Terrapins are all fired up as they'll have the chance to shoot for 2 and extend this lead to 7 or 8.
And now, again, that's something you see Michigan do all the time, is Simpson from one wing, pass to Mo Wagner at the top of the key, where then he swings it around to the other wing. It's just a Michigan does that about 100 times every single game. Is just a sloppy pass there by Simpson. Didn't zip it over to Wagner. Just way too easy for Fernando to step out and take that pass away. And Wagner, really, all he could do there was grab him to prevent him from getting an easy 2 points.
And just to recap how this second half has gone so far, Michigan started off with a 10-0 run. Maryland looking very, whatever the opposite of sharp is on both ends in that 10-0 run, unable to get anything going on offense either, and extending their turnover count to 8. Michigan had the opportunity to have a couple fast breaks to, take their first lead of the game. First lead of the game since they were up 2-0 earlier in this one. Unable to do so. Maryland with a couple of steals and able to seal a 6-point lead with a fast break bucket. And another fast break led to a foul on Mo Wagner. And the Terrapins will be heading to the line for 2. 36-30, Maryland leads. 15 minutes and 2 seconds remain in the second half. Plenty of time to go, but not the momentum shift you wanted to see if you're John Beilein, who looked very fired up for a minute there, as he should. That was some sloppy passing by the Wolverines.
Yeah, there's nothing that gets John Beilein angrier than seeing his team turn the ball over. And, Maryland's now on a 6-0 run, looking to extend that with Fernando coming up to the line. And it's been solely because of these just awful turnovers by Michigan. Just really, really sloppy. Sloppy is the only way to put it. It's not like Maryland's playing some terrific defense and, just taking the ball right from under guys' noses. They're just giving the ball away, bad passes, just mishandling the ball on fast breaks. And Michigan cannot afford that, especially, in a game that they haven't been playing very well in. There's only one thing you can really control as a team, and that's how often you turn the ball over. And that's something they cannot afford to, lose their hold on.
Yeah, absolutely. And Maryland not even shooting lights out anymore. Their 3-point percentage down to 30. Their field goal percentage down to 47. But, of course, the Wolverines still shooting that 34% from the field, 25% from 3. And not what John Beilein wanted to see in that last 2 minutes.
Yeah, and it's tough because Michigan still, you would have thought they would, the easy shots would at least start to go in. But we've seen so far Matthews missing an easy layup there. Simpson just missed one a few minutes ago. At some point you think at some point the fortunes are going to turn. The easy shots will go in, and it just hasn't started yet. I don't know what Michigan needs to do to get some easy layups to fall here, but there's something wrong. I don't know what it is. They got to practice. They got to get in the gym.
I think it's something that happens in all sports. It's the turnover, the turnaround after a big win. I think Michigan, after their biggest win of the season against Michigan State, a 10-point victory at the Breslin Center, they're tired. They're coming down from that excitement level that they had on Saturday. And by the way, this is the shortest turnaround for any team in the Big Ten all season. Michigan playing just 2 days after their last game, which was that game against Michigan State. As Fernando hits that first free throw, 37-30 Maryland. He takes the second. No good. Rebound, Mo. Mo to Matthews, and Matthews to Simpson, who will take the ball up. 14 minutes, 55 seconds. Another almost sloppy pass there, almost taken by the Terrapins. Mo around to Matthews. Matthews to Poole. Poole for 3. Got it. 37 points for Maryland. 33 for Michigan.
Interesting. Poole has not gotten a lot of minutes here so far today after a pretty good showing against the Spartans. First shot attempt of the game as well. Gets it to go. We know he's talented.
Wow, a vicious slam by Bruno Fernando as he is left wide open on a switch gone wrong that left Xavier Simpson on him right under the basket. Xavier aborted mission there. And Mo Wagner with the ball to Livers. Livers to Simpson. Simpson looking for Matthews. Can't find him. Mo for 3. Got it! 36 for the Wolverines, 39 for Maryland. Maryland answering, and Michigan keeps answering back with those threes as Maryland takes the ball up. Morcell to Cohen. Cohen to Herder. Herder goes up with it. And easy 2 for him.
Yeah, obviously the ankle injury that I thought would hinder Herder there. Obviously not too big of a deal. Looked just fine going to the basket right there.
Absolutely, and the Wolverines are now up to 36% from three-point range. Mo Wagner with the ball to Matthews. Matthews working around. He's looking to drive. He gets in there, kicks it out to Livers. Livers for three. It's good! 39 points for your Wolverines and 41 for these Maryland Terrapins, who really haven't missed, but neither have the Wolverines.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. That's now Matthews' sixth.
A steal for Xavier Simpson, who feeds it up. Poole for three. Got it! It's good! 42 for Michigan and 41 for Maryland. And a rebound for the Wolverines on a block shot by Herder. Xavier Simpson with ball. Simpson taking it to the rim. He kicks it out to Poole. Poole for three. It's good! Wolverines have made their last 5 3-point shots. And 45 points for the Wolverines, 41 for Maryland.
Crisler is just going bonkers right now. I cannot believe Turgeon's not taking a timeout here. Maryland just looks shaken right now.
Oh my goodness. I have never seen a stretch like this from the Wolverines. That is 5 straight three-pointers. This crowd is electric as Maryland works the ball around. Bruno Fernando driving. And there's a foul on the ground. That one looks like it's on Livers.
Yeah, well, it's been an excellent stretch here by the Wolverines. Poole really sparking it with 3 3-pointers now. Again, he's only played for 5 minutes so far in this game. Only taken 3 shots, made them all, obviously. I don't know why Beeline's kind of kept him buried on the bench so far today. Such a great game against MSU. He's really played terrifically this entire year. You know, he is just an excellent player. He shows a lot of potential, and he's got about the smoothest looking stroke I've ever seen from downtown.
Absolutely, and he's been the catalyst for this offense. Oh, man, as Cohen takes it up for Maryland. Cohen for three. It's good. Maryland answers back, 45-44. The Michigan Wolverines lead this one, and that possession arrow for Maryland right now, I believe that was a foul on the ground on that last play. Mo for three. No, he pumps, taking it to the rim. He's fouled on the ground. Really, it really does matter who that foul is on. Is that on Cohen or is that on number 15, Sikovsky? That one, I think that's on Sikovsky. Yeah, third personal foul. That is Sikovsky. That's his third. And one of the few remaining big men for this Maryland team after all their injuries. Michael Sikovsky now has 3 fouls and will probably be seeing the bench for a couple minutes here. 11 minutes, 48 seconds remain. 5 fouls for Maryland, 3 for Michigan. And the Wolverines lead 45-44. Wolverines up by 1 score.
Well, as I was saying, you know, you would think at some point the shots are just going to fall for Michigan. And what do you know? They do start falling. And this team is just really taken off. And, you really thought they were going to blow the game wide open there. Really a great job by Cohen there to hit that three to really kind of answer Michigan's barrage of 3-pointers, silence this crowd just a little bit. You know, as exciting as that run was, as excited as the crowd got, you thought this game was over. Michigan was pulling away. It's still only a 1-point game. Maryland still playing pretty well. This game is not over yet by a long shot.
Absolutely, as the fans work hard to try and earn some pizza here. Free pizza from Pizza House. The cheerleaders bring some up to a section of little kids. That's about 6 kids for 1 pizza right there. Good for them, though.
They're all going to be it's a lot of sharing there. I don't know how I would feel about sharing 1 pizza with all those kids. I mean, if you get the pizza physically and they hand it to you, do you get first dibs? That's what I want to know.
That's what I want to know, but judging by the way all those kids celebrated when their friend got the pizza, I'm going to guess they're going to share that one, but between 6 kids, I don't know if 6 slices, I mean, I guess it's 1 person.
Yeah, we're talking, this is like a personal pizza.
Yeah, this is not the 8-slice pizza that we're used to.
But back to the game here, one thing I wanted to highlight is Charles Matthews so far with 6 assists, something that really not used to seeing from the big man. He normally is just taking it to the basket. You know, every time he drives it, he's going to the basket. He's laying it in all the way, but he has been distributing the ball pretty well, which you love to see. He's having a hard time getting the basket to go through the hoop. He's only 2 of 7 shooting. So now when he's driving in the ball, he's looking to kick it out. That led to a Livers 3, part of that 5 3-point streak there for the Wolverines. You know, really unselfish play.
Absolutely. And to put it into perspective, Charles Matthews alone has more assists than the rest of the team combined.
Which is wild.
That is 6 assists to the rest of the team with 5. Mo Wagner, 7 rebounds compared to 12 by the rest of the team. He's been huge on the glass. And, of course, Jordan Poole, 3 for 3 from the field. All 3 of those were 3-point shots, the biggest of which they are replaying on the Jumbotron right now. A step back off a fast break pass. Rather than going for the layup, he stepped back. He took that 3. Interesting time to step back. I think it's worth mentioning he was completely unguarded, but still chose to do the little step back. Got some style points there along with the momentum-shifting three-pointer. The Wolverines inbound it. Matthews taking it to the basket. He's fouled on his way up. That, I believe, is going to be on number 10, Morcell. That'll be his second foul.
Yeah, that's always something with Poole. He doesn't do anything without a little bit of flair and style.
But you love that. If you're the Wolverines and a John Beeline team, you love that because sometimes there's not always quite enough style.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely – I think last year the guy with the most style for the Wolverines, in the Wolverines' recent history, I should say.
A missed free throw by Charles Matthews. Free throws have not been his strong suit this year as he is only shooting 51% from the line. That's probably about down to 50 now. His second free throw attempt. That one's good.
All right.
46-44, the Wolverines lead as Cohen, the hot shot for Maryland with 18 points in this game, takes that one up the court. Cohen to Nickens. Nickens around to Morcell. Morcell looking for a screen from Fernando. He's got it. Kicks that one out to Tomajic. Tomajic looking for Cohen. Almost misses him with a pass there. And Cohen's working. Great defense from Xavier Simpson. Cohen looks ready to go. He looks like he's going to pull up. He does. And that 3 is in and out. Mo Wagner with the rebound. Xavier Simpson taking it up. He's going to slow that one down to Matthews. Matthews looking for a pick. He gets one from Mo. Feeds it up to Mo. Back to Matthews. Matthews. Oh, he's gonna do something. He's going to the rim right there. Unable to finish on a rather uncontested layup.
Yeah, again, he was able to shake the defender, had an open look at the basket, and just couldn't get it to go.
It's been a problem all night. Those shots under the hoop just have not been falling. Maybe it's how tired the Wolverines are. That's a 3-point attempt for Maryland. It's good. Maryland will take the lead 47-46.
Yeah, and like I said, this game is not over. There you go. Maryland's taking the lead back again. Really, the problem has been for Michigan not getting buckets. They're going inside and just still can't get them to fall. That's what you want to see, though, is them going to the basket. That's where the easy looks are.
Mo for 3. It's good. 49 points for your Wolverines.
Well, I should say typically easy looks are at the basket, but, if you're the Michigan Wolverines, you like those 3-point layups.
In 10 minutes in this half, the Wolverines already have 9 more points than they had the whole first half. 49-47, the Wolverines lead. Morcell, he drives. Looked like a travel, but he puts one up. No good, and Mo with the rebound. Simpson now taking it. Simpson works it around. He's going to the hoop. He kicks it out. Duncan Robinson for 3. It's good! 52-47. The Wolverines lead, and that is their 7th straight 3-point shot made. Timeout, Maryland. And that is their second used-up timeout of this half. They'll only have 1 remaining. All 3 timeouts remain for the Wolverines. They're getting breaks, earning them with these big 3-point shots.
Yeah, definitely Michigan's really taking over here. A lot of it has to do with the 3-point shot. And it's been, these 3-pointers, none of them have been really off the dribble, contested. They're all wide open, in rhythm, catch and shoot. Threes coming off of passes from penetration. Michigan's really doing a great job driving, into the lane. Yup, driving into the lane, kicking it
Absolutely.
out, shooting the three off of those passes.
Yeah,
That's what they
absolutely.
need.
It's been 7 straight three-pointers for the Wolverines, and to put that into perspective, in their first 12 attempts, they only made 3. They're 7 for their last 7, and that's made all the difference. As Maryland, we must mention, Maryland has not cooled down at all in the second half. I mean, you would think they might get down a little bit after the Wolverines are just not missing anything, but no, they really haven't slowed down at all. They do have 6 fouls in this second half already compared to just 3 for the Wolverines. So I think that's a concern. They have burned up 2 of their timeouts, 2 of their 3 for the half. But if you're Maryland, you're still in this game. Michigan only up by 5. And again, Maryland shooting almost 50% from the field and 36 from 3. They're not slowing down offensively. Defensively, there's just nothing they can do.
Yeah, on those three-pointers, you don't expect a team to make every single one they shoot, but, when you're as talented and as skilled at shooting the three-pointer as Michigan is, there's nothing you can really do about that. You're right.
Yeah, again, there's just nothing they can do. Especially, I think they got their hopes maybe a little too high defensively. Maryland did after that first half performance by the Wolverines, where they kind of shot themselves in the foot for that entire first half and only scored 20.
That's right. Well, Cowan dishes it out to Nickens for 3.
Nickens for 3 is no good. A foul on the ground. That'll go the Maryland way as Mo Wagner.
Yeah, Mo Wagner will get the foul there. The Michigan crowd here is not liking it, but Maryland will inbound from the baseline. Looks like Morcell will be inbounding here. Well, as Teskey subs in for Wagner now. Wagner with his 3rd foul there. Interesting that Beeline's deciding to take him out. He's been playing so well here in the second half. Now Maryland inbounds it into the corner to Herder. He pump fakes, and it looks like Poole went into his body off of the pump fake. He was able to absorb the contact on the shot.
Looks like that'll be on the ground as well.
Oh, interesting.
5 fouls for the Wolverines.
Interesting, that one's on the ground. Michigan's still not in the bonus. They'll be inbounding from the baseline again. Now it's Tchaikovsky with the ball up top. Another foul on Poole.
Oh, my goodness. That's 3 in this single possession. That's 3 fouls for the Wolverines. The totals are at 6 apiece now.
And Poole did not like that foul at all. Neither did the crowd, really letting the refs hear it. Pretty ticky-tacky there. I did not see any contact, honestly.
No, but the Wolverines have had a good game called for them so far, so can't argue with that one.
Yep. Cowan's taking the ball up top. Oh!
Another
again.
Oh my gosh, that is 4 fouls in 9 seconds of play for the Wolverines, who have now forced Maryland into the bonus. Maryland will be taking a 1-and-1 after this. That'll be Morcell.
We'll follow there on Simmons, who just checked in. Now the lineup for the Wolverines is, you can hear the crowd really giving it to the refs right now. They are not happy. But
not at all.
The Michigan 5 right now is Simmons, Poole, Matthews, Robinson, and Teskey. Out on the floor right now, Beeline kind of switching it up here, which is interesting. That 5 of Michigan was doing so well. As far as Beeline's looking to switch it up here. All right, now that is Nickens there going 2 from 2 from the line. That'll bring the score to 52-49. Michigan still up. Here now Simmons is bringing the ball up the floor, attacking the right side. Michigan's swinging it around the arc here. Oh, and the ball slips out of Poole's hands off of a pass from Teskey, goes out of bounds. Michigan kind of looking a little disjointed here now.
Absolutely.
With the fouls and the turnovers.
4 fouls in 1 possession. That is difficult stuff right there. If you're John Beeline, you are not happy. And, I mean, we can see right now he's very angry, calling in Xavier Simpson, who's going to go in for Jerron Simmons.
There we go. Nickens driving to the basket on Robinson, misses the layup. Excellent defense there by Duncan.
Yeah, you can't afford to foul there again, so that was tremendous defense.
All right, that's Poole driving to the lane, under the basket, lays it in.
Beautiful up and under for Jordan Poole, who's been a spark for the Wolverines tonight.
That'll bring Michigan's lead up to 5 now. Cowan driving to the basket. Oh, tries to lob it up to Tchaikovsky. Can't handle the pass. It goes out of bounds. That's Michigan's ball.
Not sure how that one was Michigan ball. It looked like Poole threw that one when he tried to hoist it down, but I guess Cohen touched it while he was out of bounds, and that will be Michigan ball. 8:22 remaining on the clock here.
Yeah, it looked like the ball went through Tchaikovsky's hand, then Poole slapped it towards the out of bounds there. Cohen tried to save it, obviously not realizing that Poole had touched it last. Now that results in Michigan taking it up now. Now Simpson bringing it up the floor. Now Poole with it, getting the screen from Teskey. Dishes it down to Teskey. Oh, beautiful pocket pass by Poole to Teskey. He lays it in, and the foul. Count that one. He'll be going to the line to extend this Michigan lead.
Oh, my goodness. This game, it's just so funny because, you know, rather than back and forth basketball, you know, throughout the whole way through, it just seems like teams are going on runs where they're scoring, you know, 6, 7 straight points, and then the other team's doing the same and back and forth. And it's gone Michigan's way this half, but Maryland, again, they've hung in there this whole time. Despite, I don't think we can mention this enough, Maryland roster is down so many players tonight.
Teskey takes the free throw, sinks it. Beautiful touch there from the big man. Doesn't miss many from the stripe. And now Maryland bringing the ball up the floor. They have not scored in the last 2.5 minutes, while Michigan is 9 for their last 10 from the field. Now it's Herter with it on the right wing. Passes it up. Oh, dishes it down inside to Morcell. He gets it blocked by Teskey there. Ball's out of bounds. It'll stay with Maryland. It looks like we've got a media timeout here. Michigan leading 57-49 with 7:59 remaining here in the game. Ian, what are you seeing so far here in the second half?
Oh, man. So I think more so than just the second half is the second half of the second half has been a completely different game because that's when Maryland kind of started to get back into it after the Wolverines hit those 7 straight three-pointers. Wolverines can't necessarily say they cooled off, but after fouling 4 times in one possession, Maryland definitely had a little momentum shift. Of course, the Wolverines continue to stay hot. Like you said, 9 of their last 10. Maryland has 0 field goals made in their last 2 minutes and 41 seconds, and that's why we have the score we have now, which is Michigan with 57 and Maryland with 49. Interesting how Wolverines have seemingly made this a high-scoring affair for themselves, up to 57 points with 8 minutes remaining after only scoring 20 in the first half.
Yeah, and I think really the difference has been the passing so far. As you said, you know, Matthews really was the only one with any significant assist numbers now. Michigan overall as a team has 16 assists, I believe now. Oh, no, make that 14.
And 11 of those, however, are by Matthews and Simpson. So those two have been tremendous on the ball movement. I think Simpson, we expect that from him every night. That's his main contribution. But from Matthews, I think it's been more offense for him this season. So for him to have 6 assists out of our 14 is, tremendous so far. Out of the 14 for the Wolverines, that's a lot. And, of course, the Wolverines, a low turnover team, only with 5 so far compared to Maryland's 10 turnovers. And Michigan has converted 16 points off of those 10 turnovers, despite some strange turnovers in transition for Michigan. It's been turnovers that have led to more turnovers. So 7 fouls apiece for each team, both in the bonus. And we absolutely have ourselves a ball game here.
Yeah, definitely been a little bit of a helter-skelter here on some of these fast breaks, but Michigan looking to run out to the three-point line a lot of times here in transition, and that's what's been, very much, been very successful for them. Catching and shooting three-pointers on the break. When Maryland has, coming back, not able to regroup and find their man, it's leading to a lot of open guys, and they've been sinking them so far. Michigan shooting now, 10 of 19 from the three-point line.
53%. That is quite amazing after that really slow start from 3. I believe there were 3 for their first 12. So that's, it's going to put them at about 25%, I believe. So for those of you just tuning in, Michigan with 57 and the Maryland Terrapins with 49 points. Michigan holding on to an 8-point lead despite being down as much as 16 at one point. It's really been an interesting game. The ebbs and flows have been tremendous as, again, neither team really gone directly back and forth, neither team matching one another basket for basket, but rather it's just been all momentum shift after momentum shift, 6, 7, 8-point swings for each team. And
Maryland inbounding from their own baseline. Get it into Herter in the corner. He shoots the three, misses. Now Simpson's taking the ball up the floor here for Michigan. Pass it over to Rockman. Handoff to Livers. Gets the screen from Teskey. He likes that three. Oh, can't get it to go. Now Maryland with the rebound kind of coming out here in transition. Oh, pass errant. Goes out of bounds. That'll be Michigan ball.
You can't afford to let that happen if you're Maryland. An easy two, a 3-on-1 for easy 2 points. Unable to convert there. John Beeline still screaming, but I think he's pretty happy with how the second half has gone.
Yeah, Michigan will look to maybe bleed the clock a little bit here going through the offense. Duncan Robinson with the ball. Michigan moving it around the perimeter. Simpson takes the three. Oh, will airball that one out of bounds. That'll be Maryland ball. Really an odd choice there by Simpson. Not a whole lot going on. Dribbled. Teskey came out to give him a ball screen, kind of rejected it, and just put up the three.
It is worth noting Simpson from that spot on the floor is 43% from three so far this season.
Well, we know about his three-point shooting from his heroics against the Spartans here.
Absolutely. A couple deep ones for him.
Couldn't get that one to go, though. Maryland trying to get inside. Herter will draw the foul from Duncan Robinson.
No, that looks like that was on Xavier Simpson. It was an off-ball foul.
Off ball.
Strange call there. I did thought I saw something on Duncan there, but I guess they're gonna go with Simpson on that one.
As
Simpson's third.
Maryland is in the bonus. Looks like Herter is going to be shooting from the line. Wagner checks in for Teskey, and now it looks like Matthews sitting at the scores table. Herter's free throw is no good. Misses the front half of the 1-and-1. Ball is tipped out of the bounds by Nickens. And
Matthews will come in. And Matthews will be in for a pool, it looks like.
Yeah, interesting. Michigan going with their starting five, except Duncan is in there instead of Livers.
It is worth noting, though, Duncan has been the starter at the four position most of this season so far, so nothing new for him to be in this situation.
Yeah, definitely shooting the ball well today, too, playing some pretty good defense. Not surprising to see him get the nod from Beeline here in crunch time. Michigan's swinging the ball around the top. Duncan had the ball, tried to dish it to Wagner. Gets in the hands of Maryland. Herter going to the basket now on the fast break. Can't get it to go.
Great defense. Great defense there. Wow.
Matthews rips down the rebound with three Terrapins around him. Excellent board there. Simpson, tried to get the ball to Matthews on a backdoor cut. The ball is tipped out of bounds by Maryland. Will stay with Michigan. Looks like Simpson will inbound it off the baseline here.
Maryland for their last 6 shot attempts. Wolverines have cooled down for a minute here. They're up to 6 turnovers. Inbounded to Matthews.
Dribbles it out, hands it off to Simpson. Dribbling, driving now. Tries to take it inside, gets blocked by Cowens, gets the ball though, dishes it out to Duncan, takes it inside, can't get it to go. Finally, it's Matthews, tips in that rebound for the score.
It was about 3 missed shots and put-back attempts before the Wolverines are able to get that one to fall.
Cowens comes down, takes it to the basket. He is fouled. They're saying it's on the floor. Michigan's still in the bonus, though. He'll be shooting 1-and-1.
That's 4 on Simpson, the leader at point guard, and Simmons will come in for him, the grad transfer out of the University of Ohio.
Yeah, interesting. Simmons really hasn't gotten much playing time at all this year, getting the nod over Brooks here during a critical point of this game. Cowens up for the front half of the 1-and-1.
And Cowens just had an amazing game so far tonight.
He'll miss it, though. The score will be 59-49 Michigan with 5:44 remaining. Simmons brings the ball up, dishes it over to Marr. Michigan swinging the ball around the outside, looking to get some off-ball movement. Mo Wagner with it on the right wing. He gives the ball up. Look to ball screen for Matthews. He's trying to drive it in, kicks it out to Simmons, pump fakes, shoots the three, can't get it to go. Oh, some contact. Looked like Mo was shoved under the basket. No call, though, as Herder brings the ball up the floor for Maryland.
Wolverines all set on defense after difficulty in transition there. And that's going to be another foul on the Wolverines. They have been whistle happy in this second half so far. My goodness.
And that is now the 10th foul on Michigan, putting them in the double bonus. Cowan's up to shoot free throws here again. Surprising to see him miss that last free throw. He's an excellent free throw shooter on the season. If this comes into a free throw shooting competition here, he's really not the guy Michigan wants to send to the line.
Yeah, and I mean, if this does come to a free throw shooting competition, he misses that one. Wow, that's 2 in a row for him. If this does come down to a free throw shooting competition, the Wolverines are not in the best position here, as they're going to do something interesting here. They're going to play Poole at the shooting guard and have Mar play at the point guard. Of course, Muhammad Ali Abdul-Rahman, the typical shooting guard for the Wolverines. So many fouls on the point guards that they're going to have our shooting guard be the point guard. Very interesting maneuver there by John Beeline.
Yeah, definitely not an unfamiliar position for Rahman, though. He can definitely play the point. He pretty much plays it a lot of times out on the floor. Michigan takes it. Mo Wagner's got the ball on the left wing. He's driving it. There's contact. He will get the shooting foul. That'll be on Herder. I believe that is his 3rd foul.
3 for Herder, 3 for Sokovsky, 2 for Morcell, and 2 for Cohen. Number 12 for the Maryland Terrapins. That'll be Mona. Mona is the only Maryland Terrapin player not in foul trouble. Of course, he's not a regular starter, though, at the shooting guard position for the Terrapins. Mona is not.
Ooh, the first foul for Wagner is no good, as it looks like Nickens is subbing into the game now for Maryland.
And if you're just tuning in, this is WCBN FM 88.3. I'm Ian Lemersall with Nate Sorensen. The Wolverines up 59-50 on the Maryland Terrapins. 5 minutes remaining.
Second one no good as well for Wagner. This
My
lead
goodness.
stays at 9.
Wow.
All right, Maryland bring the ball up the floor. Cowens dishes it over to Morcell. Morcell's got it on the right wing. Now Cowens with the ball, dribbling around. Good defense by Rockman here. Not letting him
Rockman's
penetrate.
always solid on D.
All right, Morcell gets it in the corner, drives it in, gets it to go, takes it right in to the paint. Kind of challenging Poole there, was not able to stop him. Now the lead down to 7 as Mar brings the ball up the floor. Rockman gets the screen from Wagner, rolls out to the top of the key, gets the ball, shoots it. Oh, misses everything.
That was a brick by Mo Wagner there. The Wolverines really needed a bucket.
Yeah, Maryland now with a chance to cut the lead to 5 here. As Cowan drives in, with the circus shot, gets it to go. A little up and under move there on Matthews. Now, Beeline looks quite upset as the lead is now down to 5. He'll take the timeout. Not a big surprise there. Maryland now on a little bit of a run here.
Michigan with no points in the last 2 minutes and 1 second. Their lead cut to 5 as Maryland is in the double bonus and on a nice little 6-0 run here. Really interesting change of momentum. I mean, the Wolverines were up 59, I believe 49 there. 5 straight for Maryland, but nonetheless, 5 straight points and many fouls. Michigan having fouled 10 times, Maryland only 8. Maryland's in the double bonus. That'll benefit them as 3 minutes, 38 seconds remain. And if Michigan can't get hot and stay hot from the field for these last few minutes, it's going to be tough for them to put this one away, as Maryland is never out of this one. They've shown great resilience here tonight. Coming from the highest of highs, being up 30-14 at one point, to the lowest of lows, giving up 15 straight points to the Wolverines and being down as many as, I believe, 12. They're only down 5 now, and with 3 minutes, 38 seconds remaining, they are more in this one than anyone tuning in might think.
Yeah, and definitely you got to be looking out for Cowan right now. He's had an excellent game so far, has not sat for a single minute of this one. He has 21 points, 7 of 13 from the field. Has had a couple of clutch baskets here down the stretch of the game. He's drawing a lot of fouls. Is a big reason why Michigan is now in the double bonus.
Absolutely. And again, only 8 fouls for Maryland in this second half. Maryland at one point had 6 fouls and Michigan with only 3, but that is a 7-2 foul swing. Remember, I mean, there were 4 fouls in 1 possession for the Wolverines. They couldn't keep their hands off the Terrapins. And this banged up Maryland team on the road against number 23 ranked Wolverines are showing a lot of resilience here. And that is 0 points in over 2 minutes for the Wolverines. Hard to imagine what lineup they might go with here. I guarantee they switch things up coming off this media timeout. A lot of fouls. At what point, Nate, do you think they put Xavier Simpson back in with 4 fouls in this game? At what point do you think they try him back out again at point guard?
3.5 minutes left here, 3:38 to be exact. It's still quite a bit of time. Beeline especially is quite conservative when playing guys with fouls, as we know.
Absolutely.
If a guy gets 2 fouls in the first half, he's sitting for the rest of that half. I expect him to probably wait until about 2.5 minute mark. We'll see, though. Michigan does still have 2 timeouts left if he wants to use one, to kind of, get guys in and out. He has that freedom, which is pretty nice for the Wolverines. Definitely has to switch something up, though. The Michigan offense is just not looking good without a true point guard out on the floor.
No, absolutely not. And, some might think having Rockman on the floor could benefit in some ways, and it does. On defense, Rockman playing against Cohen has been able to slow him down, but you see the Wolverines with Simpson back out there now. And I guess Beeline's going to take his chances playing Simpson with 4 fouls, Wagner with 3, and the rest of the team with mostly 0 fouls all around, except for 1 on Duncan Robinson from earlier in the game. Here they go.
Yeah, with 3.5 minutes left now, Michigan has Simpson, Rockman, Matthews, Robinson, and Wagner in the game. Now Wagner gets the ball down low. He's being swarmed by Maryland. Kicks it out. Michigan swings the ball around. Rockman drives it in. Can't get the shot to go. Looks like it might have been blocked there now as Cowan brings the ball up. He has Duncan Robinson on him. Oh, he loses the ball, tries to do a dribble move there, just loses it.
If you're Michigan, you could really use a basket here. 3 minutes remain, up 5, and 22 seconds to burn on the shot clock.
Looks like Michigan will do just that, running around the perimeter with some handoffs. Matthews has it on the right wing, shoots the 3 off of a jab step, misses it, but Wagner gets the rebound, and he's fouled by Tchaikovsky underneath the basket.
I believe that was Herter, and that's Herter's 4th.
That's Herter's 4th foul.
Wow.
Again, a guy who's played over 30 minutes here tonight.
Yeah, a lot of foul trouble for both these teams. That's 4 for Herter and 3 for Tchaikovsky for Maryland, and for Michigan, 4 on Simpson, 3 on Wagner.
Yeah, that is Maryland's 8th foul now, so Wagner will be shooting 1-1 here. Here comes the front half. Wagner sinks it.
Beautiful, beautiful stroke there from Wagner, who traditionally is a very good free throw shooter, but has had some troubles this season. Nothing too recently, though.
Here he goes for the second attempt. Nails it again. That'll take the lead. That'll make the lead 61-54 Michigan with 2:48 here remaining. Maryland again with 8 fouls. Michigan with 10. Both teams here in the bonus. Neither is going to be looking to foul here, especially now Michigan. It does not want to send Maryland to the line here for 2 shots.
Yeah, absolutely not. Now's not the time for that. 2 minutes, 43 seconds remain, and 22 on that shot clock for Maryland as they work.
Herter with the ball on the right wing. Looks like he's going to get a ball screen from Tchaikovsky. He slips to the basket. The ball is tipped. Goes over to Nickens. He tries to get it over to Cowan. The ball is tipped again. Oh, he kicks it out to Nichols. Misses. And Wagner with the rebound.
A lot happening right there. A lot of pinball right there as the ball was tipped off quite a few times.
Yep. Now Rockman with the ball. He's going to hold it here, let some clock drain.
Michigan won for their last 9 field goal attempts.
Gets the ball screen from Wagner. And pass it around. Simpson with the 3 from the left wing. Oh, can't get it to go, and it'll bounce off the top of the backboard, out of bounds, Maryland ball. Again, not zero field goals for Michigan in the last 4 minutes, 0 for their last 5. Not a successful trip there, but they were able to get some time off the clock, which is a big part of the game for them right now.
And Michigan has not made a shot from the floor other than a free throw, 2 free throws in the last about 4 minutes now.
Yeah, Maryland rolls the ball up court to preserve a little bit of time here now. As Herder shoots it from the corner, gets it to go.
Sinks that.
61-57. Now it's a 4-point lead with 1:49 remaining. That'll be a timeout. Is that by the media or Beeline? Oh, no, that's a
looks like it
timeout
was on
by Maryland.
That's their final one.
Interesting. They take their final timeout with 2 minutes to go off of a made basket.
Yeah, you'd think maybe they would save that last one for under a minute, but a minute 49 seconds remain. Michigan 61, Maryland 57, and it's pretty clear the Wolverines have to either get a basket on this next possession or get a stop if they want to seal this one, as that 3 was really just perfectly timed for Maryland. That's exactly what they need to stay in this one before letting it slip away at all.
Yeah, Herder got the ball coming off of a off-ball screen, flying into the corner. Looked a bit like a shot you would see Kyle Korver take in the NBA. Gets it to go pretty easily. And, something that was something Michigan really did not want to happen here. Now it's only a 2-possession game, and they have not been able to get any baskets to go here.
This is a really big game for Michigan. Once again, there won't be many big games in the Big Ten for the rest of the season, as Michigan has already squared off against Purdue and Michigan State and Ohio State once apiece, and there aren't many great teams in the Big Ten this year.
Rockman driving. Can't get it to go. Again, another easy layup, just won't fall as Herder comes racing up the floor, passes it to Collins. He goes to the basket, misses as well. Rockman with the rebound, but they're going to say he shoved Tchaikovsky, I believe. Not sure if that was Tchaikovsky or Herder with the foul. That's going to matter because one of them's going to the line here for 2 shots.
Huge call there. Wow.
Interesting. Now that's only Rockman's first foul, which is good news for Michigan. Bad news, though, is that it is indeed Herder going up to the line. He's 0 for 1 so far today, but he'll get the first one to go.
61-58. Michigan holds a 3-point advantage currently. Both teams.
1:26 remaining here, too.
Yeah. Both teams about in the double bonus. Sinks that other one. 2-point lead for the Wolverines. Minute 26 remain.
Yeah, Michigan really needs a basket here. You can hear Crisler Arena start to cheer them on. They really are looking for a basket here. Simpson's dribbling. He's in trouble. Collins all over him. He's able to get it away to Matthews, though. Matthews driving, dishes it out to Simpson, passes it over to Rockman for 3, gets it to go.
Absolutely. Wow. Oh my goodness.
Maryland tried to roll the ball up the floor, almost went out of bounds. Took a diving effort there by Morcell to keep it in. Oh, Collins drives it in, dishes it off to Tchaikovsky for the easy dunk. Just like that, it's back to a 3-point lead for Michigan with 45 seconds remaining, 25 on the shot clock as Rockman crosses half court here.
And everyone getting up on their feet here as Michigan leads by 3. 39 seconds remain.
Yeah, Rockman dribbling the ball. He's looking to milk the clock here as it goes under 30 seconds, 10 on the shot clock as Simpson drives to the basket. He gets it to go. Michigan lead extended to 5.
My goodness.
25 to go. Collins takes the 3. He scores.
Oh, my goodness.
What a shot by Collins. With 20 seconds remaining, Michigan inbounds it to Simpson. Maryland fouls right away. Now, not a bad foul there, as we know Simpson had a hard time making free throws to ice the game against Michigan State just on Saturday, excuse me.
And for those of you tuning in right now, Michigan with 66 points, Maryland with 64. They just came down the court and hit a 3 and then had to foul right away. It's the double bonus. Xavier Simpson will be at the line for Michigan. He'll be shooting 2. If he can make 1, Wolverines will have a comfortable 3-point lead. If he can make 2, that'll be 4, and that'll feel like game if you're John Beeline and this Wolverine team, as Simpson, with one of the worst free throw shots I've seen in quite a long time, he completely bricks that one.
Just an absolute brick off the left side of the iron. And looks like Beeline will take a timeout here. I don't know, kind of let Simpson catch his breath here. Not a bad idea. Still have one remaining with 19 seconds to go here. Michigan up to 66-64 with Simpson with one more to shoot from the line. Michigan, again, one timeout remaining. Maryland with 0. The lineups right now, pretty much the starting lineups we saw to start the game.
Mhm.
Maryland, again, they don't really have a whole lot of flexibility with so many injuries. Looks like, though, they'll be going – I would believe Cowan's going to be taking these last shots for Maryland.
Yeah, Cohen's going to take the last shot. He's 4 for 6 from 3-point tonight and 4 for 6 from the line, 8 of 15 overall. He'll be taking that last shot. Cohen will be for Maryland. So the situation for the Wolverines, they have a 2-point lead with 19 seconds left, and they are at the line taking one more shot. Again, Maryland's going to be coming down the court looking to take a three-pointer. So if the Wolverines can make this free throw, they have to feel good about their chances to at the very least, go to overtime if Maryland can come down and make that three-pointer. Here is the free throw by Xavier Simpson, a 50% free throw shooter.
He misses it. Maryland with the rebound. It's Herter. Gives the ball over to Cowan.
And you got to think Maryland's going to be taking a three.
Again, they'll probably hold for the last shot here as well. They'll give it inside to Tchaikovsky, posting up on Mo Wagner, dishes it out to Herter with the three. He makes it. There's 3 seconds remaining, and Maryland leads by 1 point as Simpson takes the timeout. Maryland rushing onto the court. The whole bench is celebrating.
Oh, my goodness.
Crisler Arena right now is just in shocked silence. You know, Maryland ran a perfect play there, kind of sucked Michigan in with the post up, thought they were just going for the tie. Kicks it out to Herter. Michigan had no one on him. Coming off the screen, he nails the uncontested three-point shot. Gives Maryland the 67-66 lead with 3.2 left on the clock.
Oh, my goodness.
And Michigan now will have to advance the ball the entire length of the court to get a shot off here.
Michigan's hopes of staying ranked might have just slipped away with 3 seconds left. Maryland hitting a three-point shot. That is devastating. Maryland takes a 67-66 lead. Wolverines take a timeout. 3.2 seconds remain as the Wolverines, coming off timeout, are going to look to heave up a last-second shot here and see what can happen. The Wolverines haven't been great on last-second shots so far this season.
And now it looks like Poole just checked into the game for the Wolverines. We don't know who for. Michigan's huddled in pretty tightly over there. It looks like Simpson is the one stepping up. He'll be coming out of the game, excuse me. Interesting choice by Beeline. Not too surprising, though. Poole has been red hot. 4 or 5 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3. I would look for Michigan to get him the ball here for this final shot.
Worth mentioning, the Wolverines were up by 5 points with about 24 seconds remaining. The Wolverines were up by 5. 3.5 seconds remain. And the Wolverines are going to inbound this ball down 1.
Yeah, Michigan has all 4 guys beyond half court right now in a bit of a rectangle formation. Looks like Wagner's going to go set a screen for Matthews. Matthews trailing around. The ball's into Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman. He's going to the basket. He's fouled.
Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman is fouled with about 1 second remaining. He is the Wolverines' best free throw shooter.
And he is going to the line with the chance to give Michigan this win. My goodness, what an absolutely beautiful play drawn up out of the timeout by John Beeline.
Oh, my goodness. The Wolverines have a chance to either win the game or send it to overtime here. 66-67. Michigan down 1 point with 2 free throws to take right here.
Now it looks like the refs are going to review something here now. I don't know what it is, if it's just the time on the clock. Not sure. I don't believe they can review the foul. He definitely got fouled, though, by the way. He got slapped
he
across
got
the lawn.
smacked. There is no doubt about that.
And again, I just want to emphasize how beautiful that play was. Wagner goes over, sets a screen for Matthews. Looks like the entire Terrapins team thought Matthews was getting the ball. Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman slips free. He's able to get the long pass on the right wing with just about no one in front of him. Has a clear path to the lane, drives in. Really, all Maryland could do was to foul him to stop him from getting a wide open layup.
Just a beautifully drawn up play. And I will say this, Rockman, that is, had a terrible last possession and shot against LSU in a similar situation at the end of a game. He heaved one up, a long three with about 5 seconds remaining when he didn't need to. This time, much the opposite. He drove down and really got as close to the hoop as he could and was able to force a foul. Beautiful by the senior, as he is the Wolverines' best free throw shooter. He'll take 2 free throws now with a chance to make one and tie the game, likely sending it to overtime, or he can make that second one and potentially give the Wolverines a win. 1.2 seconds on the clock. He takes that first free throw. Here he goes.
He nails it.
He nails the first free throw.
Man,
he nails
a pin drop in here.
Oh my goodness.
Leading up to that free throw.
Oh my
Crisler Arena
goodness.
erupts. Now we at least have overtime here. Michigan is not losing this ball game in regulation.
Well, there are 1.2 seconds remaining if Maryland has 0 timeouts. You're right.
Good point.
But again, 1.2 seconds with both teams in double bonus. You never know what can happen.
Again, the second one's up. It is good! No, 1.2 seconds on the clock after the official
Wolverines
review.
need to play some defense here. They cannot afford to foul.
Oh, Herder gets the inbound.
Oh my gosh, the Wolverines have done it!
This is it!
The
Michigan
Wolverines have won this game!
68-67 as the clock hits 0. Huge win for the Wolverines.
I have never seen a game quite like that. The Wolverines with 3 seconds remaining, the most beautiful half-court toss-in I've ever seen. Rockman gets the ball with great composure, drives as close to the rim as he could, gets fouled, and with 1.2 seconds left, makes both free throws to win this game for the Wolverines, who, after Maryland hit that three-pointer to likely win the game, Michigan and this crowd were dead silent. It looked like it was over, and you could feel the disappointment from the fans as a lot of people were already walking out thinking Michigan had won this game. Maryland hits that 3, and now Abdur Rahman hits those 2 free throws with 1 second left to win the game. And by the way, that is career points number 999 and 1,000 for Muhammad Ali Abdur Rahman, now added to the list of great Michigan 1,000-point scorers. Michigan has done it and won this game in a fashion I have never seen anything quite like, at least not in a long time.
I could not imagine a more dramatic way to get your 1,000 point. And one thing we should mention, that after that review, the view by the officials there was to take the clock up from 0.9, which is what the official clock was at after the foul. They put it up to 1.2, which really did give Maryland enough time, if they could draw something up, to get a pretty decent shot. You know, even if they had to go full court. Here is Crisler Arena's honoring Muhammad Ali Abdur Rahman for making his 1,000th career point. Gets a standing ovation from the remaining crowd here. But kind of interesting.
Oh yeah, no, it is. That's 1,000 points for him, and it looks like on the court still. Oh, that is Jordan Poole and John Beeline. They're being interviewed, of course, by Fox Sports 1 after this game. All the fans not leaving so quickly. It looks like we're about to sing the fight song here at the Crisler Arena. Anyways, we thank you guys for listening. This has been the WCBN FM 88.3 broadcast of this Michigan Wolverines basketball game. An incredible 68-67 finish for the Wolverines here. We thank you for listening. Have a great day, and go blue.